Also, like you told me, you do communication, so this would be good to tell you. So basically, I'm doing my podcast. It's like I am interested in people that figure something out, which is, I don't care what is it, medicine, science, fighting, even porn. I'm just interested in things without being married to my ideas or culture or anything. Just if anyone can do something and others enjoy it, I want to know this. What did he do? So this is one part why I do the podcast, and you can learn from people from their field and others, and also to learn about people, to talk about comedy, and I learn a lot from podcasts. The best thing I benefit in my life is listening to podcasts and make it my source of fun. So that's all.
Wow, okay. Well, that sounds pretty lofty to learn something. It's funny because that's what I spend most of my days trying to teach people about communication through learning English, but also to go a little bit deeper, which is what I've tried to do to talk about conflict communication and how to use humor. So that's sort of where my passion lies.
Mm. So basically, like I came from Yemen, and I have brown skin, but I never had faced racism or someone that hates me. Maybe some people, but I don't even take it serious. And I always get along with people with humor. I always try to be funny. When you meet me, I always try to be funny, and I never know about comedy or humor. So now when I
Hmm.
start reading book and how when you know how to make someone laugh, it's powerful. Maybe you can tell me even more about it.
Hmm. Well, I've watched some of your podcasts before with another comedian, and she had said that there was sort of a, a a recipe you could follow, sort of, if you know certain filters, comedy filters like
Yeah.
exaggeration or, the rule of three, say something big, and then something very small. And these filters, I think there's at least 25 to 30, depending on who you talk to. I've studied with Scott Dickers and with you and Rob Chiaffi and with Judy Carter. Those are my top three. And yeah, and Dave Fox also. And I find that there is, that if you learn how to put these jokes together, or if you learn how comedy works, why we laugh, because we're surprised. The number one reason why we laugh is because we're surprised, and that incongruity is something that I think as comedians we're always chasing, like how to surprise people.
Exactly. I feel even they say that when we get surprised, we hide it by our emotions by laughing sometimes.
Yeah. Hmm.
So you teach people how to communicate. For sure, there are. Is there like different ways? Like there are certain way how you communicate with your kid, but you cannot be the same person how you communicate with your workers as you communicate with your kid. Or is there a basic rules? Tell me more about communication.
Yes, well, communication has so many different aspects that it's really hard to pin down because, we communicate through culture, we communicate, like you said, through through hierarchy, like if we're speaking to our parents or we're speaking to our boss or friend. So You know, there's hierarchy. We communicate through filters like emotion and prejudice or fear. So um, money, you know, classism, if we think that someone's higher or beneath us, and there are, I don't know, at least 50, if not 1,000 filters, which we're constantly sort of going through, trying to understand who this person is we're speaking to and how we want to speak to them and what's the message we're trying to get through. So basically, it's us, and then it's the message, and then it's the filter, and it's the distractions. And then on the other side, you have the other person, their filters, their distractions, and through all that, you're trying to get your message across. All of that. You want to cut through. And you hear that a lot in marketing, how they try to cut through. And how does marketing cut through? They cut through with repetition and they cut through with humor. Like those are the quickest ways to cut through is with if you can get someone to laugh, you've lowered their defenses. You've slipped in, sort of come in under them because now they're agreeing with something you've said. They're feeling
Ah,
this connection. Yeah, because you can't laugh with another person and not feel like you now have a connection.
that's really amazing. But what is it about? Um, I'm not trying to talk about myself. I'm just trying to understand more
Hmm.
why some people are funny
Oh,
when you
okay.
are around them.
Hmm.
Why do they have the skills on creating something in common with the other person, and we're always able to, as you said, lower the guard. Even when you make people laugh, you feel like you are in control. They even say that you can be the fool, but it's better to be the fool who is driving the ship instead of someone. So, what is it, yeah, about some people that are um, good at doing this?
It's interesting question because they usually say that people who use humor have come from a harsh background. Like they've had to deal either with physical abuse or mental abuse, or
Mm,
um, that's what I've heard. Like the darker your backstory is, the more you're able to create humor, and that's what I've learned, that most comedians come from something that disturbing in their background that made them sort of the class clown in school, which makes them sort of the, like you say, the clown for their friends. Um, and they do that because I think, and I've also read, they do that because they're so lonely. You know, they do that because they want, they need that connection. And
mm,
if they can get you to laugh, then that feeds that sense of connection, that feeds
mm,
that sense of acceptance that we
oh.
all crave, but some of us crave it more even.
That's because it makes sense. Like, even if, for example, at the house, there are not too much love, uh, nobody is making you feeling wanted or agreeing with you. You really crave it. For me, it's funny that I would say that I don't know if this is the right phrase for it,
Hmm.
but I like in Yemen, living in Yemen and with my parents,
Hmm.
I would say that I was abused mentally by an idea and philosophy. How would you because there are different between someone who is abused because his parents are bad people and drunk and try to hit him, and there are some people who are abused. Their parents might be good people, but they are abused by a philosophy, by an idea, which is, I would say, that was me. And it's funny for me. I feel that it's more fun than being like knowing that, okay, my father was good, but he was abused by this idea. It's funny. So now you kind of just make fun about him and about this idea. I feel it's softer than being abused by a person and trying to make fun. I would feel that's darker. And sorry, can you be a little bit closer? Is there a chance to be closer to your device? Because your voice, it's good,
Okay.
but maybe just a little bit. If
Okay, and I'll also turn up. Let me see. Is this better at
yeah,
all?
now it's good.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're saying being abused by an idea, by an ideology, as opposed to being abused physically. Is that what you're making a distinction
Yeah,
between?
or by a person that they are really bad.
Being different ways of being abused.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that there's any sort of. I mean, there is graduations in abuse. Like you can say there's a continuum. But once a person feels abused, to me, that's like when a person feels pain. Like if someone hits you on the hand with a hammer and someone cuts off my finger, I can't say that you did not feel as much pain or more pain, depending on your threshold for pain,
Mm.
depending, so it's hard to measure other people's pain and say, which one is worse, because it depends on the person. It really depends on how sensitive a person is. I, you know, because what might drag me down, and what might drag you down, and what might drag a third person down is going to be different. But it doesn't mean that we all haven't been dragged down by something.
Mhm. I don't know why for me it sounds the most hilarious thing to be abused by the thoughts that my dad did, and too many people are abused with it. It just seems so funny for me, and it also makes sense that humans are like animals, which is we forgot that we are just animals. Like I don't and for me to see how Yemeni people live and how they are being manipulated, it's so hilarious. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's funny to you. And do you feel easy? Has your father seen your comedy? Has he seen your humor?
Like my dad is a mosque leader, and he's so religious. So for him, what I'm doing, because especially my comedy, is something. Maybe the most hated people he told me about are the people who are maybe like me now, because he hated nothing more than being against Islam or making fun of God, because that's all what he lived for. So it's unexpected, even for me. But I do feel that that's the journey, because I didn't even know about comedy 2 years ago. I didn't know about this. So now
Oh.
to be involved and to make fun, it's also weird for me.
Yeah, okay. So let's look at that for a second. And I don't know, I'm going to speak from ignorance because I don't know about Yemen and I don't know. But when I hear about religion, mostly through the news, and I hear about um, like
Muslims.
well, Muslims, like I said, I hate to even try to go into this, so please help me because I don't
Yeah.
know anything about it. But like Salman Rushdie, do you know he wrote a book, and then I don't know if that's this if that's
Oh,
yeah, and someone I think someone attacked him. I know someone attacked him because of what he's
yeah,
written. So this idea of this sort of fervor around
yeah,
religion for me is really interesting. So for me to see you sort of try to come out, and you're in Yemen, and just like you say, to have this ideology, which I imagine is all around you,
yeah.
is what the air you breathe, and to try to be above it, or to try to be outside of it, to me that sounds like a real challenge, since you're there. Even, I mean, like if you were in New York or something, I could see it. But how does it work for you there? Is it
So basically, it's quite, I don't know the right phrase for it, but unlivable to be in Yemen. I am in Cyprus.
oh, okay,
I am in Europe. I'm near you.
okay, yeah.
Uh, yeah. So it's nice here. And surprisingly, there are almost more Germans, especially in Cyprus, especially
Uh-huh,
in the city where I am,
uh-huh,
even maybe more, I wouldn't say more than the locals, that's exaggeration, but I would say that about only the Germans, because basically in Germany they pay 45% tax.
mm-hmm,
So Cyprus, they only pay around 15 or even less.
mm-hmm,
And it's a small island where it's easy, like it's not like so firm like Germany. It's like
mm-hmm,
everyone knows each other, and if you have problem with your company or the bank, everyone relax, everyone is cousin with the other,
uh-huh, uh-huh.
and the rent is cheap. And I don't know, but if you know, Cyprus is so beautiful, so beautiful.
Oh, okay.
It's in the Mediterranean. It's an island in the Mediterranean
Mm-hmm,
Sea.
mm-hmm.
Just the energy of being in the middle of the oceans, and it's a beautiful
Oh,
island. So the
mm-hmm.
Germans loved it, and with social media, so most of German people who especially works online are moving to Cyprus because they can rent a house with swimming pool, same
Oh,
price as one room in Germany,
wow.
and tax is cheaper, and yeah, life is good.
Okay, I'll have to look into it. Yeah, but my point was this idea of Yemen, and of
Ah,
like being in the inner city. Like I was from the inner
yeah,
city of
sorry.
Indiana,
Yeah,
and so poverty was the driver there. Poverty and racism was another driver that I didn't really deal with, but it was always pervasive. Like you knew it was in the air. Like this idea that someone was gonna be prejudiced against you for the color of your skin at some point.
mhm,
Um, so I again, like I said, we all come up from different. We come up through different soil, but it's still soil, and we all come up and are deformed. You grow or are deformed by the soil that we have been potted in. And I think, like you said, when you can laugh about it, when you can say, look at how life has
yeah.
deformed me, and you can laugh about it. There's something so powerful in that, and other people see it, and they too understand. Yes, I've been deformed as well by life, by the status quo, or having to fit in, or having to just get along. So they laugh out of recognition for that feeling that you're shy, even if it's not, even if they don't understand poverty, or even if they don't understand religious zealousness. they understand the undergrowing emotion of being an outsider.
Yeah. It's also for me, like, for example, to grow up in Yemen and believe in this.
Hmm.
Like, it's like I'm now 24, and I already lived different person that was believing in one faith, and now like you talked about the person who I think he made he draw our prophet, photos of our prophet, and they attack him. Uh, and I remember in Yemen, we destroy all the Denmark products because this person was from Denmark. So we destroy
Oh,
it.
okay.
We just
Uh-huh.
nobody anyway. So for me, I was like believing this. Like I wouldn't eat Denmark food that time. But now it looks so funny for me, and I'm now also on the side of the person who draw funny photos of our prophet. I don't think there is anything wrong with that, and I don't know. Some people they say like you shouldn't hurt people, but I think that we shouldn't censor people. If you wanna do something, you can do anything. Our prophet, he died 1,400 years ago. Who cares? If you want to make fun about him, we shouldn't say to anyone, don't do it. You have the right not to take it, but I don't think you have the right to tell people. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's the same thing in the US. Like right now, we have the situation where people who are for the right of life, that you have a baby, like if you get pregnant, that you spend 9 months and you have a baby. And we have the people who are pro choice, who believe as a woman, you should have the right over your body to say, yes, I'm having a baby, or no, regardless or not, I'm
Yeah.
not having this. And yeah, and the people who are pro life really feel like they should have some say over other people and what they do with their body because they're so, because of their religious belief. And yeah, that's scary for me, this idea of how people who believe something become so, so much has happened because of people's religious
Mm.
beliefs. So many wars have been fought because people are so motivated and so, so passionate about their religion. So yeah, like I said, I also don't believe that as well. I also feel like we should have, the people should be able to control themselves. Like you do whatever you want,
Yeah.
I'll do whatever I want, and as long as we're not disrespectful to one another, it should be okay. I shouldn't be telling you how to live. You shouldn't be telling me how to live. We should both just be living our best life. But that is what the more and more the problem is people, they get very passionate and they want other people to share their belief.
Yeah, and as you said, it's like war or catastrophic things doesn't happen in one day, but there are some indications, like when you see some group of people are having power and trying to force it on other people, eventually at the end, will break one day, and history always repeats itself. But the problem is that that's in us as humans, like that's how we are wired. And I feel that the only way to make people feel humble and to detach them from the way we are wired and took from our families is psychedelics like mushroom or DMT or ayahuasca. which is so decriminalized. And they even say that imagine every political or every president have to take DMT or mushroom, and then they have to go and talk to public.
That's funny. Um, so I don't know much about psychotropics. I don't. I tried marijuana in high school, and I have the worst head for that because I'm serious. I would literally smoke weed with people, and I would fall out. I would literally fall unconscious, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's something in my brain that just clicks, but yeah, so I couldn't really get into drugs like that, and I don't know, so I don't know a lot. I drink, and I love champagne and I love sect. um that's like my favorite thing. So I even have my shirt says champagne is always the answer. so so yeah, I do believe in drugs. I believe in alcohol.
So, like, do you like to get drunk?
I like to drink sex. Yeah, I like to drink sex. I do I like to get drunk? I by myself, honestly, Muad. Like I like to sit here in front of my computer and have, two or three glasses of sec while I write because I love to write. So I'm writing like I write I'm working on a speech right now. So I have a little music, I have my sect, and I just sit in front of my computer. And that to me is my best life. Now, when I go out with people, I I'm not so like that I have to like drink without. I'm not really like that. But alone, yeah, so I drink alone. Oh, you're not supposed to drink alone. I think that's the sign of an alcoholic, somebody who drinks alone. But yeah, but that's what I do.
No, to be honest, I do the same like you, but with the other thing. Like and like when I smoke, I
Mhm.
burn my laptop. I work online, and honestly, like I would work. I never get bored. I would
Yeah.
and I would go to the gym. I would do all my things during the day. So I think that the best thing is to find who you are and what works for you. Because for me, if you find that alcohol works for you, good, better than someone who is complaining about everyone and still don't know how to figure it out. So, but what's I think is how about the health? Because they even put photo of someone like who like takes alcohol and someone who takes like marijuana or weed, and the how do you agree with that? Or
Well, you mean how healthy are people? Like how healthy am I? Like I walk. I'm not huge. I don't go to the gym, although I have gone to the gym in the past. And I need to do more. Like I know I need to do more because I'm 56, and so you start like I see my body like
yeah,
starting to rebel against me, and I'm like trying to keep it from like exploding on me. And yeah, I mean, going to the gym is a choice. I do a lot of things from my chair. I'm like a chair decathlon, like taking my chair and working with it. But yeah, honestly I think you should eat well. I don't eat meat. I stopped eating meat, and so I try to eat more salads and things, and so yeah, I try. I'm not sort of I'm not extremely anything. Yeah, I just do
but what I meant is that, like, for example, if someone is drinking every day, or if someone is smoking every day, if someone is smoking, especially like weed, maybe it have some bad things for the lungs, but also there are ways where you can. But comparing by champagne, there are too much amount of sugar, and it's. I mean, do you agree with this, or do you? Because some people they are like no, you can actually drink and you can also be so healthy. There are ways to do it.
Yeah, of course, there are ways to be healthy. I drink a lot of water. I don't drink a lot of sugary drinks, so yeah, I it really is like water or champagne. You know, sect, sparkling wine. Yeah, that's just me. But I don't feel it's the same with marijuana. I think or cigarettes. I mean, there's people who are 100 years old who smoke
Yeah,
cigarettes. So honestly, I don't know what the answer is there. There's people who die who have just finished a marathon. So
yeah.
honestly, I think that's still a mystery, and everybody has to figure out for themselves what they think their body can take.
I but like judging, I really think like I always like you. I always also like how you look and your smile and this. So I think you are drinking champagne in a healthy way.
In a healthy way. Well, thank you. I think you're smoking in a healthy way. And I have my cousin Ginger. My cousin Ginger and her husband or partner, her and her partner, they smoke weed like every day, uh, all day long, like cigarettes. They smoke weed. My mother was the same way, smoked weed like it was cigarettes, and they managed to function. They managed to do well and succeed. It did not stop them at all.
Nice.
So I think it just really depends on the individual.
And I love your background. I wish everyone has your background. Weed will be legal everywhere. Um, I want to also ask you about um, um, communication again.
Okay.
What I believe is when you talk to a person, you can hack their system if you know what you are talking. If you are one step ahead, so what would you advise someone that wants to be one step ahead, whether it's talking to a salesman or talking to a girl? Because I have too many friends. There are people who have other problems, but I have friends that they have communication issue. Like they look good, they dress good, they are good, but when they talk to a girl like a stranger and they are trying to flirt, I tell them you need to learn some techniques, some ways. So how would you advise someone in general to be a better communicator with all these aspects?
Well, there's definitely different aspects of communication and what you're using the communication for. So depending on what you're using the communication for, it's sort of how you need to, because I mean, if you're talking about conflict management, then you're going to be using different communication skills than if you're talking to a salesman or you're talking to a woman and that you're trying to engage with. So let's take the woman. Let's take
Yeah,
that you want to engage with a person. The best way I think to get into that conversation is to just think of one small thing that you want to accomplish, like that you want to get this person's name. Like, I just want to know what this person's name is. And then you just, enter the conversation for that piece of information. And you listen, if that person seems like they want more, or if they shut you down, if they say they
oh,
don't want more, then you have to accept that. You have to, yeah, acknowledge that. But oh gosh, I have this thing that, so you can try to find something unique about that person, their hair color, their earrings, and say that, like, oh, I really love your earrings, or you know um I my sister also has black hair, but I don't think hers is as black
Yeah.
as yours is. But some way to get into the conversation with some little point that you notice, something unique that you notice,
Mm.
um, something that you share at that moment. So if you're at the same event, then you talk about the event. Wow, this is a great event. Or do you usually come to Smokies on Friday night? You
Mm.
know, yeah. So you can start with the event. You can start with something unique that you see, or you can start with just making some challenges for yourself, like something that you want to get out of the
Mm.
conversation. So then you can feel good that you achieved that. And then if you achieve that and the door is still open, then try for something else.
Then ask their number.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're having a good conversation and you can say that, oh, this has really been a fun conversation. I'd like to do it again. Can I have your number? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
I
not?
mean, there is this rule, they say like as it is. So for example, if I'm in the gym and you can even like compliment her workout. Maybe you can tell her like, or if she's doing something different, you can ask, what is this? And as you said, like the way that person will reply to you would be so easy to tell if they reply and they are smiling, or even if they ask you a question back, that's the best condition where even if it doesn't happen, if they are smiling and this, you can even risk it more. But if they are pissed or this, as you said, you have to accept it, or having bad day. And I feel that the best is to suck. I mean, when you do something and it doesn't work, that's when you will learn and get better. So, like, I feel like if someone wants to create communication with girls or with salesmen or anything, take some rules, some recipes, some knowledge, but there are one step that you have to not succeed and to be an embarrassing situation and
No, and don't and
or
I would say don't think it's an embarrassing situation for yourself to try to, a lot of times it's the same with marketing or sales. Like you can't just go in and be like, let's get married tonight. You have to take it step by step to get to that further step. So get one step and then try to get the next step. Because someone could be laughing and joking with you and you're moving forward, and then suddenly they let you know, yeah, my husband likes that as well. Or I've told my boyfriend about that as well. So they're letting you know that they're in a relationship. And so again, you accept that, you enjoy the fact that
uh,
you've had a nice conversation. You enjoy the fact that this is a pretty girl that you were able to speak to for a minute, which means the next girl you'll even be closer to finding that person for you because you're open. You're not like trying um, to to catch something. Like I think it's better to like not be trying to catch something. Like I want a relationship with you, and so I'm trying to catch you. Not to go in like that. To go into it like I'm looking for a fun evening. I'm looking for
yeah,
a nice conversation with someone. They can be married. They can be whatever. I just want to have a nice conversation, or I just want to talk to someone at the gym and see what their routine is like, see what they like about the gym, and just go into it like that, open, just open.
yeah. I mean, I have one more question, and I don't know how you feel about that time.
Okay, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with
But
that.
it's nice that, like you said, like if you want to meet someone new or you like someone, I feel that that's chances, and I like always to take it. Like
Mhm.
when I don't succeed, at least I don't feel that uh, I didn't do anything. I always love to do something. I even feel that
Exactly.
if it didn't work, you will get better for the right time. When the right time
Exactly.
comes, you are already ready. So yeah, as you said, like find something in common, smile, look good. I always like to
Just be
ask.
open.
I always like to ask my friends, how do I look? And I'm so humble about it because
Mhm.
I feel that um, I try to find friends who have good taste and I kill them. Like every clothes I have or anything, I get their approval. It's like an open mic, like rap.
Uh-huh.
And I
Uh-huh.
feel like it works. Why would I like I would go and sometimes they would tell me, hey, this t-shirt is a dick blocker. So throw it away. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's the way. I think that's it. To try to just have fun, to just you're young, so you will meet people. People are out there, and to just go into it. And if you do have to go into it, like if you do go into it, like you said, looking for something, look for some small win. Like I got her name, I got her to agree to a coffee, and then or not, but then let that be enough
mm.
for you for that time, like you said, to just be open and friendly and having a great time, and talk to older women like me. I'm happy to smile. So yeah, don't just talk to young girls, talk to all women, and who knows, maybe someone's daughter will show up. You never know. Talk to everybody.
Yeah, I remember one time I take a lighter. I was smoking weed on the beach with my friends. So I borrow a lighter from old women, and
Mhm.
I told her you can hang out with me. She was friendly. So when she was with her granddaughters, two hot girls, like they weren't sitting with her,
Yeah.
but when they come here and it's like I'm like that's like you don't look for it, and that's
No,
like.
yeah, exactly.
But I have another like I don't know if you think this is an issue, but this is an issue. I see it from also my friends. Um, Usually, guys, when they go on a date, they want to have, I think, more willing to have sex, or they are like the gender who I don't know how to phrase it, but girls are, more like emotionals and they even get attracted longer. It takes them longer. They like to see how he treat the waitress, how he do. They pick up on these small things. But guys,
Mhm.
just if she has a nice makeup, it's good. I don't care how she drives. And I also see girls uh, takes it as a chance that let's go on a date. Usually the guys will pay. Imagine one of my friends, he been going on a dates for like 1 year, and now he fall in love with one girl. You know why? Because he told them next time I'm gonna pay. He is not even broke, but he's like, I feel that girls take it as like, okay, the guy invited me for date. That's like a free dinner and this, and then I'm gonna think about it. So I sometimes tell my friends, be savage, just be straight from the beginning. Tell her what you want, and if she say no, no. But they are like sometimes when you say this, the girls find it weird or awkward. Like, are you telling me like I'm not coming out unless you guarantee me to have sex? Because sex is more like an emotional things. And so this girl gonna be like, oh, tonight I have to get this guy, like it's a must. Now I'm coming. So how would you think about this communication? How to help guys and girls not to get into so
Yeah, how to get to that
misunderstanding?
yeah, that conversation. That's interesting. Um, as a woman from who was raised in, like, came up in the 70s, 80s, I'm that generation where I expect men to pay as well. My daughter's not. Like my daughter's not from that generation. They believe equal, down the line. So, and I believe there's women out there that are like that who believe, equal down the line. So how would I actually, if I wanted to sort of make sure that we were on the same page, I think the best way to do that would be to say something like, well, for one thing, if you don't have a lot of money, then say, let's go out for coffee. Like, try to
Yeah.
keep it away from dinner.
Yeah,
You
coffee
know,
is always the best choice.
exactly. Just say, let's go for coffee. And then see how she does. If she's like, no, I'll pay, or let me pay for myself, then, then that's sort of letting you know that she's independent and she's not sort of, wanting to be, she's wanting it to be equal, more equal. And of course, you have the women who are like, well, thank you for the coffee and thank you. Um, yeah, and as far as that goes, I say again, do what you enjoy. And if you don't want to take someone out to dinner over and over, or for whatever reason it is, then yeah, have a conversation where you say, um let them know your situation. If it's a situation like I said, I'm from the old school, so where men asked us out to eat, men asked us to go out, like we didn't ask men for anything. Like I said, my daughter's from another generation. She
Mm.
will ask a man to do X, Y, and Z. I wouldn't. But so that old generation, that older generation, or that, and then it may be different from where you're from as well, that women sort of expect that the men will buy dinner or buy drinks or buy whatever. um so I only think you do it if you can afford to do it, if you want to do it. And anytime, you should feel comfortable telling people what it is you're looking for. I think anytime you should feel comfortable saying, this has been great. I'm really looking for a relationship in my life right now. Or I'm really looking for someone who's open to a relationship, or someone who's open to dating exclusively, and then let them tell you, no, I'm not looking to date exclusively. Or if they say yeah, and then you're right, you still have to look and pace it. And it's hard, it's not easy. And I'm not saying, Muad, that it's easy. It's never easy with people and chemistry and relationships, and it's never easy. But to be on your best foot, go out because you want to go out, spend money because you want to
Mm.
spend money, do it because you're enjoying it. And if you don't enjoy it, don't do it, you know.
No expectations, and I think it's also good to like also, yeah, as you said, you can ask them like, are you expecting, like, are you the kind of person who maybe wants relationship and get to go on like 10 dates until you give us one kiss, or are you
Oh,
someone
that.
who wanna have
Yeah.
just fun, or you looking also for maybe only friends, or yeah, I
Yeah.
think questions are always good, and be like um, that's like, because I feel like too many people have problem with communication.
Yeah.
The way
Okay.
I figured it out is just anything that's not comfortable, or I feel that I just keep trying, see what works out, try to
Hmm.
figure techniques. So how long have you been doing comedy?
Oh, comedy I've been doing for 3 years now, just 3 years. I started right before the pandemic. I really got my start right before, and then the pandemic hit and everything shut down, and I did some things online, but now I'm actually, back in the clubs and back out, and I feel stronger now. But I think, like I said, if we had to have this pandemic, that I might be in the same space or even further, having done more. But I feel good about where I am. Yeah.
So how is it like in Germany? Is it like as available as like where about in Germany you are?
I'm outside of Heidelberg. So I live in a small town, but Heidelberg is the next big city. And then I go to Stuttgart. So I go basically an hour to an hour and a half around radius around my house. And I go to open mics mostly. I do my own open mic in Heidelberg at the end of the month, and where I invite other comedians to come. I give a comedy class, and
Nice.
so I have my students on. So yeah, so I'm sort of in the scene as far as Heidelberg English mics go.
Okay, that's interesting. Maybe if I meet German people, especially in this city, so now do you like have Instagram or like do you have website or how do you like people
Connect.
who lives in Germany or anywhere gets you?
Well, Instagram, it's B Communications. So just B Communications on Instagram. And then I have my own website, which is annabellebauman.com. And usually people get me on Facebook as well, Annabelle.Bauman. So usually Facebook or Instagram, I pay attention to, um, TikTok. So it's always a little interesting, like I said, because I'm from another generation. So I put stuff out there, but I never know how to like, because I think the easiest thing is, do you know Linktree?
See, I don't even know. I'm learning from you. Tell me.
Okay. There's a website called Linktree. Let me just put it let me see. I think this is how it is. And it's I think it's Annabelle Bauman. Linktree, Annabelle Bauman. I think that's it. So Linktree is a site where you can put all your stuff. And so I do Linktree, and and then you can see everything that I'm into there. Oh, B Bauman. Sorry, it's B Bauman. Um, let me put Linktree. And then B Bauman. That's
What
it.
link tree be bombing? Okay, so this you put all your stuff.
Everything's there. Yeah, Linktree is a good space because you can put links to everything you're involved in. So and it's linktr.ee/B Bauman.
Okay, I don't know anything about it, so maybe I will try to see how it's used. So it's useful for what exactly?
Well, Linktree is having all of your things, your Instagram, your Facebook,
Okay.
anything that you're doing, you can put it all there. And yeah, so it's easy to um should I don't know, should I share screen? I don't know where it is.
Can
Should I do
you?
it?
Yeah, you
Yeah?
can.
Okay,
Uh,
let me open it and then I'll show you. Okay. Let me find you again. Um, share screen. Oh, disabled participants. Can you
okay,
let me?
now you can. Okay, you can also share your file.
Okay, I will. Okay. So then share, and then um, I don't see it, but maybe let me go back. I'll just do it here. Share, and hopefully I can. You can see. Can you see the link
Yeah,
tree?
yeah,
Oh,
we
good. Oh, good. Okay. So this is Linktree. And see, there's my Instagram, my LinkedIn, everything that I do. You can put it on one page. And so then, yeah, then people can just click on it and get to your other information
Oh,
from Linktree.
oh, so you are in this account. So if someone go here, they can find everything about you.
Exactly.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. So maybe I will put this on the down of the website of the podcast under the podcast.
Okay.
And yeah, that's really awesome. That also, like when I do podcast, I can just put this link, and then people
Hmm.
can go there and find everything instead of.
Yeah.
That's nice. And I really want to thank you so much for being flexible, being so nice as well, and also being so beautiful. I always like, I love how you look and your jewelry and rings and hair. You really look so cute, and I admire your smile always. So thank you so much. I appreciate everything.
Well, thank you, Muad. I'm happy to do it, and I wish you all the success in the world. And I'll see you soon. I'll see you, at Joke soon.
Yeah, and honestly, one day I want to visit Germany because I know a lot of people, most of my friends from there. So let's be in touch. You never know. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't let you finish.
No, no. I was just saying. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, we can stay in touch.
Yeah, thank
Um.
you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.